So we talked about the neurons, right? And we were talking about various type of it and various function of it. So here we are talking just about neuron, but with some of its deepness. So first we are going to study about the neurons. What are neurons? Neurons are the functional unit of sense. That's the thing. So these are the functional units of cells. And neuroglia, it is along the neuron made of fatty material, and it also serves as a shock absorber. Now let's talk about the various part of neuron. The first part of neuron, it might be rounded, it might be hexagon shaped. So I am talking about the hexagon shaped one here. I am assuming it is hexagon shaped. It might has two dendrite part, one dendrite part, or many. Let's keep it apart. Only talking about the hexagon shaped, which is known as multipolar, by the way. So you will be learning about that in the coming up today. So first, inside the whole starting structure, it is called as the cell body. Yeah, the cell body, which is also known as cyton. And cell body is not a really easy thing to comprehend, because cell body has various structure in it. Because a typical shell, not shell, it is cell, a typical cell would have various cell organelles, nucleus, cytoplasm, and all of that thing. Inside the cytoplasm, there is a presence of Nissel's granules. What are Nissel granules? These are RNA based because made of ribosomes and formed from the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So these are the thing, and Nissel granules are present throughout the cell body. Inside the cell body, there is a nucleus, and there are like these projections which are called as dendrons or dendrites. And along those things, there is a long fiber tube which is known as the axon. I mean, there are lot of various outgrowths of the our neuron, but the longest one we term it as axon, and the other short ones are known as dendrons. So that's the thing. Also, whenever we are talking about the axon, then inside the axon, it is just not an axon. There is like a different layer on it. So first is neurolemma. Neurolemma is just plasmic layer above the axon, and above the axon there is a myelin sheet present. Inside the myelin sheet there are cells, yellow type of cells, not cells, which is known as Schwann cells. Now these Schwann cells help in secretion of the myelin sheet, and myelin sheet is really necessary for the conduction, solitary conduction, as I talked in the previous vid. Also, these sheets are present throughout the axon. Now, at the end point of the axon, which is known as teloaxon, teloaxon or telodendron, something like that, teloaxon, I think. Now, that point, it has various outgrowth, and those outgrowth are known as synaptic knob. What are synaptic knob? Those are a bulge occurred at the end. Now those bulge contain synaptic vesicle. Inside them there is a neurotransmitter which is known as our dopamine, or any sort of receptor present there. Any sort of various type of transmitter could be present there. So dopamine can be present there, and acetyl could be also present there. So lot of thing can be present there. So that's the whole concept of the neuron. And bipolar one, which is having one axon and one dendron. This is it. Thank you.